Oh my gosh, Trek Geeks is proud to have Fansets as our presenting sponsor. Fansets is the place for amazing pin collectibles with over 500 officially licensed Star Trek pins with new releases every month. Stay tuned for a special discount code that'll be good on your next order over there at fansets.com. Get there, go there now. Fansets, our pins have character.
From the Secret Agent Division of Podfleet Command, it's the biggest little show this side of the Alpha Quadrant and the flagship of the Trek Geeks podcast network. Greetings to you, viewers and listeners alike, all over the globe and the galaxy and all the things, and welcome to the Trek Geeks podcast. I am your co-host, Bill Smith, and this is episode number 319 of this fine show, which is due to celebrate its 10th anniversary in just a matter of weeks. That's 10 years behind the microphone with my co-host. He's somebody who drives me to drink. He's somebody who makes me take mental health days. He's somebody who I can only hope if he were a secret agent, he would be discovered on a knock list and dealt with summarily. He is the really untalented and classless Dan Davidson. Dan, welcome aboard, buddy. It's good to have you here.
And yet here we are, still doing it for 10 years, buddy. It's got to tell you something. You got problems. It's great to be here. Good to see you, man. I am excited to be here. It's been a while since we sat down behind the microphones to talk Star Trek, and I'm glad that we're here to do it. Festive season. I'm in the festive mood, and we're going to have a great time tonight. Absolutely great time.
Well, one of us will have a great time. Maybe a few of the viewers will. Ross McKinney brings up a great point. 10 years of Dan. Wow. I've got almost 30 years of Dan. And let me tell you, Nobody should have to go through that.
It's
That's
a
just me.
it's a wonderful life. I will tell you that. 10 years of Dan.
Ugh.
Yes.
30 years though, too much. I'm here to tell you.
I will say that's a little bit, that's, I got to give you a special prize for that one because that is, whew. I don't know what's going to happen with my wife when we hit that 30 years because I can see what it's done to you. So
She'll have murdered you by then.
not wrong. Not wrong.
You're going to wind up the subject of a Dateline NBC episode.
I'm okay with that.
Your body will go missing in international waters.
Yes. All right. I'll look forward to that, I think. Anyway, no.
A lot of shows do an After Dark episode. Ours just goes dark right off the bat.
I mean, we're only, 5 minutes and 45 seconds in, and 4 minutes of that was all our cool special effects stuff that you put together over the last several months. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I do okay.
You do okay.
Tonight, Dan, we're actually going to talk about an episode that you actually brought up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember why the heck you did it.
Well, I do remember why, and I'll be happy to tell you, Bill. So it was just a couple of weeks ago. I was working in my Plex library, and what I like to do in my Plex library is I like to customize the movie posters. So I'll go around every once in a while, and I went into my James Bond collection, and boom, I'm like, whoa, Our Man Bashir, let's do it. I typey to Bill. Bill, let's do Our Man Bashir, and he gave me the thumbs up, which is extremely rare. So I'm going to take it and run with it.
I'm a little concerned you called it typey.
Typey.
All right, we need to break in here for a second and ask Dan. Dan, what are you drinking?
Oh, well, I haven't even started drinking, but you would think I have for a while, right?
Yes.
I'm in the festive mood, and the festive drink of the season is, and it's not a martini glass, but it is an eggnog martini with a hot cocoa and English toffee sugared rim.
I have a lot of feelings, and that's because I don't like eggnog. It makes me want to gag.
Yeah. I was not an eggnog fan until recently, and then I found this recipe. It is my wife and I one of our favorites for the holiday season. We really like this one. The other one we like is a cranberry peppermint martini, which is also very good. But yeah, I went eggnog tonight.
I'm drinking a classic beverage, known to most of the world as water.
Usually you need to drink when we record just because.
Oh, I pre-gamed. You're looking very festive today, I might add.
Thank you.
You have your Trek tree going. I have mine off here to the side, which you can't see.
Yep. Haley's starting early.
Haley's not wrong, though. Let's give her credit.
Not wrong, but they're extremely yummy. And so that take the girl factor out of it, because the tastier they are, the more okay it is to drink them. So anyway,
I would love it if you would just develop an affinity for bourbon or something just once.
I do like some whiskey. Oh, you'll like this one then. I'm gonna get off on a tangent before we start talking Man Bashir, because we're talking drinks. Yeah. We both love Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
We do.
They came out with a Screwball peanut butter eggnog whiskey, which we picked up this weekend, and it is good, but it is about as thick as motor oil.
So something thicker than Dan Davidson.
So cheers.
Well, that's fantastic, Dan. Of course, Dan's recipe not available anywhere. Although he might publish it to Camp Kittimer later if people ask him to.
I can do that. I'd be happy to do that. Actually, I will do it. How about that?
See that you do, mister. See that you do.
Yeah.
So Our Man Bashir, I'm a big James Bond fan. I always have been from the days of Sean Connery up until now, except for those Roger Moore years. Do you have a favorite Bond? Let us know in the comments. We're curious.
Who's your favorite Bond?
Sean Connery by far.
Okay. Daniel Craig for me. I just love, he's the most normal humanized Bond, I think. So I really like him. And I never really had a problem with Roger Moore either, but Daniel Craig's my guy.
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore.
All I can think of him is, I can just think of him in Cannonball Run.
Yes. Yeah, that was good.
Roger Moore.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's not a great movie, but it's a fun movie. We have some votes here. Helen, yes, Sean Connery for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sean and Daniel. Pierce Brosnan. That's a dark horse pick. I like it though, even though that last movie, Die Another Day, is pretty putrid.
who's the other one? Who did License to Kill?
That was Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton. I like that one. I'm not a huge fan of his portrayal of Bond, but I do like License to Kill. I think that's a great one. That's a good movie.
Your face is a license to kill.
You're damn right. And don't you forget it. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't know either. But Dan, let's do a little business here with America before we go too far. I suppose that I should figure out how to take the comments off the screen before we do that. There we go. And then this is why it's live television, folks.
It's always
We're
fun.
going to talk a little bit about our friends at Fansets. And look at that. We have a graphic for Fansets right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Dan, you know, we are so lucky to have our friends at Fansets, you know, each and every week be the presenting sponsor of this here amazing podcast. And I don't know what we do without them, quite honestly.
I really don't either. It's a fantastic friendship. We love seeing them when we go to conventions. They do such a great job. And I got to say, if anybody out there listening is looking for some amazing Star Trek gifts to rain down upon your favorite Trekkie this holiday season, look no further than fansets.com. Head on over to their website right now and pick up the latest releases that they just posted, like the 2024 Holiday Moopsy pin. Very, very cute. The 2024 TNG Holiday Delta in both pin and magnet form, which are available. I got my magnet form in the mail today. I'm very excited about that. And new from Fansets, it's the Starship Dedication Plaque Collection. And you can get mini versions of the bridge replica dedication plaques right now from the TOS Enterprise, the Refit Enterprise A, the Enterprise D, and the USS Defiant from Deep Space Nine right now over at fansets.com, and more plaques will be on the way. And Bill, this just in, got to let you know, we've got a black alert right now. Black alert. The brand spanking new Discovery Rear Admiral Delta is now available at fansets.com. Again, in both pin and magnet form. Wonderful, wonderful.
And of course, you know what I'm going to tell you? Get on over to fansets.com right now. Put all of those pins, including the brand new Fleet Admiral Delta, in your cart and use that discount code Trek Geeks for 10% off your entire order at fansets.com. That's Trek Geeks in all capital letters with no spaces. And of course, don't forget, when you spend more than $30 on fansets.com, you will automatically get free shipping in the United States.
Fansets. Our pins have character, and we thank our friends at Fansets for being the presenting sponsor of Trek Geeks.
Bonnie Gordon.
And John Billingsley here. Bonnie, I hate memorizing shit. What about you?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's read it off the page. For the 4th consecutive year, we'll be hosting Trek Talks.
We call it Trek Talks 4 because it seemed like the obvious choice.
To benefit Hollywood Food Coalition, January 18, Saturday, 10 to 6 Pacific Time on YouTube. Find out more at trektalks.net.
That's right. We have 8 hours of amazing guests. That's just Kate Mulgrew, Nana Visitor, Bob Picardo, Sonequa Martin Green,
Ryan Fuller, Ira Bear, Doug Jones, the guys who read Star Trek novels, real-life space scientists.
Oh, and we're going to be auctioning off some really cool stuff. There'll be musical interludes and, quite possible,
John will blow up his face like a pufferfish.
Uncle Wayne.
Can you blow up your face like a pufferfish?
I didn't know there would be a interactive.
Thanks.
You brought pots.
Mm-hmm.
That's Saturday, January 18th, 2025, MLK weekend. So, you know, before the Monday holiday, sit down for 8 hours of great Star Trek discussion, Dan.
I'd like to blow up your face, Bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
This has taken a distinct turn.
No, I'll tell you what. This is pretty freaking amazing what we got going on the 18th of January. This lineup is just absolutely unbelievable. You know, when we started this 4 years ago, we were just so excited with every single guest that we've gotten. And every year it seems that bar has been raised with the people who are coming on. So excited for Sonequa and Kate and David. And of course, Jonathan is just, I love talking to him. He's like one of the funniest people on the planet. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. We're going to raise a lot of money again for the Hollywood Food Coalition. And we can't wait for the 18th to get here. Hurry up, 18th. Get here.
Hurry up. Some of us have a lot of work to do still. So let's not wish that away forever.
That's true. Good point.
So Dan, I know it's been a long time since we've talked about this, and you know, it's rare for us to do it these days. But I just want to say, Dan, It's time for the news from TrekNews.net. Spanning the Alpha Quadrant. For all the news on all the Star Trek you.
Get to the chopper.
Is TrekNews.net.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Told you I had something special.
Online at TrekNews.net. I think I'm about to faint. That was amazing. Dan, here we are. It's time for the news. We haven't done news in a long time. We got special graphics for the news, which is kind of cool. Kind of an upgrade, because normally I just have to look at your face and nobody wants to do that.
Big upgrade.
But Dan, up first.
Yeah.
It looks like there is some Star Trek Starfleet Academy casting news.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome for anybody who are fans of the WWE. I happen to kind of know a couple people that are big fans, but wrestler Becky Lynch has been cast in Starfleet Academy. Kind of cool. Her real name is Rebecca Quinn. She announced it on her social media page. Quote. And I'm not gonna try to do the Irish accent, but I wanted to, but I'm not gonna.
Thank you.
Quote: When you've already been champion of the world, there's really only one place to go next, and that's to the stars. I'm so excited to share with all of you that I am joining Star Trek Starfleet Academy as part of the bridge crew. And lads, this has to be the most incredible experience acting alongside a spectacular cast and crew, and I cannot wait for all of you to check it out when it comes out on Paramount Plus. And hey, live long and prosper. Very exciting news. I have never seen her wrestle. I'm going to absolutely check it out now and see what it's all about. But this is good. This is big. There's been some big names. Of course, Mary Wiseman will be reprising her role. Tig Notaro, Oded Fair, they'll all be back. Robert Picardo from Star Trek Voyager is also going to be part of the cast. It's going to be pretty awesome. And Paul Giamatti is the villain. So check that out. That was my Paul Giamatti impersonation, but okay.
That was terrible. And
don't
forget,
I've never done one before.
Academy Award winner Holly Hunter.
Yes. How could I forget that? It's me.
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That's partly because you're stupid, I think.
I'm not going to argue with that one.
Interesting, Jim. Starfleet Academy, I thought, is a land-based series, so I'm interested to see where a character will be. We don't actually have any detail on it right now. So
none.
I would imagine there's got to be a space aspect to it somehow. Maybe they go on little missions here and there. But who knows?
Paul Giamatti is going to play like the evil principal of the Academy. I have no idea. I just don't know.
If you're right, I'm going to be so pissed.
One can wish.
One can wish. Moving on, Dan. Recently, there was a trailer for the brand new Section 31 movie, which will stream exclusively on Paramount Plus, starring another Oscar winner who is near and dear to our hearts.
Absolutely. Michelle Yeoh, you know what? She can watch. I'll watch anything she's in. I'm very happy to see her reprising her role. Yes, the Star Trek Section 31, the latest trailer is now out and available. As Bill said, it's going to be streaming on Paramount Plus. Lots of interesting things going on in this trailer. I've only watched it once. I will be watching it again. Of course, it's going to be available on January 24th. So that's right around the corner, right after Trek Talks 4. I'll be able to download that or stream it, I should say. Looks pretty interesting. Of course, Section 31's near and dear to my heart. I've always loved it ever since Deep Space Nine. So we'll see what happens with that clandestine group of people trying to save the galaxy from some force that we don't know about yet.
Yeah.
Clandestine. I said it. I don't know what it means, but I used that word anyway.
I think you're more excited for the S31 movie than I am. I'm curious to see who's excited for this in the comments and who is not.
I'm
decidedly unexcited. Stop stepping on me, you jerk.
I'm not trying to step on you. I will surprise you when I say this. I love Section 31. I am not very excited for this.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see what happens after it comes out. The trailers have left me a little disappointed. Meh is
as
very
Ryan
good.
Would say.
Yeah, as Ryan says. Olatunde Usunsamni is directing it, so that's a big plus. But I don't know. The trailers have not hit me the way I thought they would. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was completely unimpressed by the trailer. To me, as it's Trek, I'm excited. I get it.
True. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
there's a part of me that's happy to see Trek in any new form. I just want something that I'm going to enjoy. The fact that we've gotten as little as we've gotten so far leads me to wonder why. I don't know. So, more Trek. Okay. The sisters have spoken and we will shut up
Absolutely.
now.
I mean, Michelle Yeoh. I mean, how could it go wrong? Right. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I have to believe if Michelle Yeoh is in it, it's going to be better than the trailer made it look, because I don't think the trailer made it look very interesting.
Yeah, I would agree. And Jason has a very good point. Excited to see Michelle Yeoh. Not impressed with the trailer. I guess that's a good way to wrap it up and sum it up right there. Good job, Jason. Good job, buddy.
Oh, thank you for telling me to move on. I really appreciate that. Dan, up next. Fandom was kind of a buzz a few weeks ago with the brand new Unification short featuring the return, in a way, of William Shatner as Captain Kirk, and people lost their damn mind.
Yeah, people really did. And it's funny. I remember the day that this came out, I saw it all over the place and I was like, what is this? I'm really not interested. I'm not going to watch it. I got too much to do, training with my new job and everything like that. So I didn't watch it. But then I just kept seeing more and more and seeing these images of Kirk. So I checked it out, and interesting, to say the least. So we get this. I don't know. Should we do spoilers? Do we care about we're doing spoilers tonight or not?
I don't know if you can really call it a spoiler. It's not canon. It's
okay.
It's
Yeah.
been
So
out there for a few weeks.
The way I look at it is, it was a way for Kirk to welcome Spock to the afterlife because he was already dead and Spock was dying. So I kind of looked at it like that. You got to see younger versions of him and other versions. You got to see some other characters from the Star Trek universe who, based on this, kind of maybe have also passed on, like Saavik, Robin Curtis. It's always great to see her in anything because she's just one of the most wonderful people on the planet. But it was different. I'm not going to say I disliked it, but I'm not going to say it was the greatest thing ever. So it was kind of cool to see Kirk, William Shatner reprised, of course, using AI, facial technology and stuff. But yeah, it was a little strange. But I will say, one of the things, as I was watching and listening to it, I'm like, that's got to be Michael's music from Lost and the Star Trek reboots. And sure enough, when the credits rolled, it was him who did the music. So that made me very happy. Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't know what to think about the thing. I don't get it. Sam Witwer was fantastic in learning William Shatner's mannerisms. I know there was a mix of digital prosthetics and, CGI to some extent. I thought that Sam was flawless, and anyone who knows Sam Witwer knows he's an incredibly talented actor who's done a lot of, especially voice work, as Darth Maul in the Star Wars franchise. Among other things, he's a huge nerd, huge Star Trek fan. While others were emotional, I had zero emotion whatsoever. And I don't know why. Maybe that's because I'm still trying to wrap my head around the whole thing. That's not a criticism by any means. That's my own misunderstanding or failing. But it's definitely something that's been thought-provoking. But it made me ask so many questions about a whole bunch of things.
I have a question.
I'm not surprised.
Yes. And I should know the answer to this, and I apologize that I don't. Was William Shatner actually in it? Because he is mentioned as a cast member of this. He's also the executive producer. But is he actually in this short, or is it all computer generated for him?
It's a mix of computer generation and digital prosthetics.
Okay.
So, there are, his likeness is represented, which is why he gets a credit, I'm sure.
Okay. Gotcha.
If he's got an EP credit, that means he probably got paid, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge anybody that with regard to this.
Yep.
But in fact, to me, hits it right on the head. Thought provoking. It was curious. Yeah.
I will say that the scenes with Spock were emotional. which is kind of ironic when it's with Spock. But I did like those scenes where they were looking out over the sunrise or sunset or whatever it was. But yeah, it was unexpected, I guess is my best way that I would describe what I felt about it. Unexpected.
It was without a doubt a top shelf job by everybody
Yes.
involved.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. From the special effects to the production design to the finished product to the costumes, everything looked perfect. And I think that is amazing in today's day and age. So many people nitpick so much
Mm-hmm.
that this was just spot on perfection as far as the way it looked.
Yeah, it's really cool. And one of the things that's very cool about it, if I read the article correctly, is the premiere of this took place up in Ticonderoga at the official set while Shatner was there with Robin Curtis and Lawrence Selleck, who played Spock. So that's kind of cool to be able for them to watch that world premiere on the main view screen of the bridge of the Enterprise. That's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, lastly, you and I are a little bummed this week because we say goodbye to Star Trek Lower Decks, the final episode airing as we record this coming Thursday. And I'm really bummed.
I'm sorry. I still don't know why they decided to cancel the show. This show could go on for so many more years, bringing entertainment, comedy, great Easter eggs, fantastic guest stars, and everything. I'm so bummed out that this is ending. This week will be the final episode, entitled "The New Next Generation," and it's very sad. It's a very sad thing that a great show. It is a great Star Trek show. Anybody who's like, "Oh, it's animation," no. It's an awesome Star Trek show, and I'm very disappointed that we're saying goodbye to it. Mike McMahon and his team have done a stellar job for these 5 seasons. I could not be more happy for him and his success with this show. It's really too bad. I wish somebody would pick it up, but I don't even know if that's an option. If they're even looking for anybody to do a season 6, but it could keep going for at least 7 seasons, like all of the other Legacy Trek did.
I think if they want, it could go on for even longer than that because it's animated. It could realistically run for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest of all the shows to produce. It's cheaper than Prodigy, even, I'm sure, just based on the animation style.
Yeah.
But I think this goes back to my prediction from, a few episodes ago, where I think, wrong as I hope I am, I think we are headed for another dark time in Star Trek where there is no Star Trek being produced, kind of like the 2005 to 2017 where there was no new Trek on television.
Right.
I've got that feeling. I think that they've probably oversaturated the market again. I know Kurtzman's deal is coming up in less than 2 years. I'm sure the Paramount's going to be looking to cut costs there. And I'm sure the first thing that's going to go is Star Trek.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Just a couple years ago, 2-3 years ago, we were sitting here recording, talking about how it was the best time in history to be a Star Trek fan because of all the new Trek that was out there, all the Trek that was out, all the Trek that was planned. And now, really quickly, now it looks like stuff is starting to wind down, and it's really kind of a bummer.
It is. Episode 9 of this season was just amazing. I don't want to, if somebody hasn't seen it yet, I don't want to go through all the guest characters that are part of it, but my mind was blown a couple of times. Just people I never expected to be back in Star Trek.
Yep.
And it made me so excited. I'm bummed to see it all end this coming Thursday on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing to look forward to, it's not Lower Decks related, but Strange New Worlds has been kicking ass, and I can't wait for season 3, and that's coming right around the corner because Lower Decks is ending, so we get to look forward to that.
It better. Well, Dan, shall we move on to this week's main topic? I mean, it's only been a half an hour since we kicked this off. We wanted to talk about Our Man Bashir because you have an exceedingly short attention span and your ability to be creative mimics what you see in a given day.
Pretty much.
Fair?
Yep, absolutely. Hey, James Bond. My name's Jeff.
One of the things I love about Our Man Bashir is just how on the nose it just pays homage to not just James Bond, but Our Man Flint and Matt
Mhm.
Helm
Yep.
and so many other secret agent spy things that we've seen throughout the decades.
Yep, absolutely. It is a great tribute to all of those type of movies from the 60s. Um, Everything from the Great Adventure to the ridiculous villains to the rampant sexism. I mean, it's just hysterical. I mean, the first thing I wrote down in my note, I got my notebook right here. And the first thing I wrote down is his personal valet is Mona Loves It. That's her name. That's what we started with. And it's so perfect to what those movies were like back in the 60s. It was everybody involved in this one really, really came out with their A game.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it has to kind of be way too on the nose because you look at, the Bond women of the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
if you can even start with, start with Pierce Brosnan and just work your way back. You've got Xenia on a top all the way back to Pussy Galore.
Yep.
It's just, it,
Yes.
I want to laugh at it, but in hindsight, I get a little cringe over it. I really do.
Oh, today? Absolutely. That I don't think it would work today.
No.
It worked back in 1995. It first aired on November 27th, 95. Let's get some of the information out of the way. Teleplay was by Ronald D. Moore. The story was by Bob Gillen and directed by Vinrich Kolb. I actually practiced that before we came online because I wanted to make sure I got it right. So 1995, I can see how it was successful and that people, kind of got that, 60s vibe to it. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how they did it with Bada Bing, Bada Bang, making sure that the genre was just right for the entire episode. And they really knocked it out with this one.
I want to know how the hell you can get Vinrich Kolb, but
Vinrich
not
Kolb.
Trek Geeks.
Trek Geeks. Yes.
How can you not say the name of your own podcast half the time?
Help me, Spock.
Help me, Spunk. You can hit Vinrich Kolb out of the stadium. Home run.
No, you have to practice.
406, baby.
20 minutes before I came upstairs, I'm like, Vinrich Kolb. Yeah, but of course, I've done that before and screwed up people's names too, but so I guess it doesn't really mean anything, but I'll take it when I get it. So thanks, the late, great Vinrich Kolb, I must say.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we lost him way too soon.
Yeah.
Jim is 100% right. One of life's many mysteries.
Thanks, Jim.
Jim, it's amazing that Dan can say his own name, let alone anybody else's. Let's be honest about this.
Sure, I've screwed it up. Let's be honest.
Dan Davidson. The other thing that this episode does is it kind of takes that sort of overdone holodeck malfunction episode that TNG did just maybe one too many times
Mm-hmm.
and kind of turns it on its ear in a kind of different and fun way.
Yeah, we've seen so many holodeck gone wrong episodes. This wasn't a holodeck gone wrong. This was they have to go on the holodeck in order to survive, which I liked the way that they did it. They were able to give Eddington something to do because we all know what happens with Eddington down the road. They were able to give Rom something to do. He's a huge part of the success of this episode and being able to keep everybody alive. Moogie. So yeah, very, very cool. But one of the things we're probably going to talk about, but I'm going to bring it up now. Jason actually mentioned that this came out right after GoldenEye, which ended a 6-year gap in Bond movies. And when this episode came out, the folks at Paramount got a very not so nice letter from MGM, and what they said was making fun of James Bond. The contents were never shared, but it was not a nice letter from MGM.
In all fairness to Paramount, MGM can fuck off. Isn't parody the highest form of flattery?
Absolutely. It really is, which is why I make fun of you all the time. And you always don't understand that's because I love you.
I don't think you understand what parody is. They must have been really bent over Austin Powers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Austin Powers does it in a great comedic way. Deep Space Nine does it in a way that's actually pretty serious, but still a little wink and nod to the camera. Like, we're going to call her Honey Rider.
But it's such a good story too.
It is.
I mean, it's a good 60s spy movie wrapped up in a 44-minute TV episode. They really hit each thing that they need to hit throughout the episode, from the sexism to the villain who over enunciates to the nth degree perfectly. God bless you, Avery Brooks, for your best over enunciation performance in the entire run of Deep Space Nine, because it works perfectly.
I love Hippocrates, Noah.
Yes.
Love Hippocrates,
Yes.
Noah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna, the sort of the character assignments in this episode are just perfection. I mean, if Julian is James Bond, Garrick has to be his Felix Leiter.
Mm-hmm.
And Avery has to be the supervillain.
And
has to be.
You know what? I have to look up at the credits. Whoever designed that outfit that Hippocrates wears, I would love to have one of those to wear as a cosplay. That is a great villain costume for a 1960s spy movie in space. It's just absolutely great. And on top of that, I will say whoever designed the record for the largest tuxedo collar in history on Garrick's tuxedo has got to give a special shout out, because that must have been really something to design and put on Mr. Robinson.
That collar is so big, it may as well be a hang glider.
And then the same with the other one that he's wearing. It's like an ascot or something like that he's got with the jacket.
Yeah, that's an entire sofa.
It probably was sofa material. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, everything. I mean, the wardrobe and all of it. Nana's dress was beautiful. And she did a great job as the Russian agent, Anastasia Kamamanov. Something Manoff. But yeah, I love the wardrobe in this episode, as well as many other things.
Nana's character gets the best introduction in this entire episode. I mean, it is so 60s. It is so Our Man Flint to some degree, which is, for those who haven't seen it, it's a great 60s spy movie. It's kind of half serious with James Coburn. I've never taken those movies too seriously, even though I own them. But they're fun. If you enjoy the genre, if you enjoy the whole spy thing, you'll enjoy Our Man Flint to some degree.
Yep. Entering the stage on a rotating bed. I must have fallen asleep. All in her little dress. And she does a great Russian accent through the entire episode, too. I thought it was overdone, but it actually works pretty well.
Well, that's the point. I think Nana actually loves the fact that it's over the top and bad in her mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that's going to amount to heresy right here, right now. And you know where I'm going with this.
I think I do, yeah.
It is no worse than Chekhov's.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Chekhov's Russian accent is horrible.
Yep. Kamenanov. Anastasia Kamenanov. There we go. Kamenanov. There we go.
Come on enough.
Very nice.
Very
nice, Bill. You're keeping me laughing tonight.
Thank you.
Everybody does great in this episode. O'Brien as Falcon is awesome. The thing that I like about O'Brien in this episode is the Falcon engraving on the eye patch. I just thought that was a really nice touch. And if memory serves, our good friend and patriarchal Thad cosplayed as Falcon at a convention one year. I forget which convention it was.
Yeah.
But that was a great. That's a nice deep cut cosplay when you get something like that showing up.
I find for this the plot to sort of be, the whole secret agent thing to be a little secondary. Because really what's at stake here is the crew has to somehow get out of the holodeck and back to themselves. Their energy patterns have just been stored there to keep them alive until they can figure out how to rematerialize them, for want of a better word. The plot of the movie, if you will, I'm just going to call it that for shorthand, is just as over the top and quasi believable as it is for every other Bond movie. Moonraker, looking at you.
I was going to say, especially the older Sean Connery ones, when you didn't have the technology that came about later on in movies, like you just had buttons and switches, like when Noah just flicks that little switch to shoot the laser and there's lasers all over the world, which make the entire ocean rise, and just one little piece of land, Mount Everest, is left to start populating the species again. Just awesome. Little switch. Boop.
You know, they start populating the species again. It's going to be a while before they got a lot of land.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty crowded there.
Just throwing that out there.
5,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, and cold.
I don't think they thought this through.
Well, most supervillains don't. I think that's really the
right.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's I think that the thing I like about Bashir is the secret agent. Just at one point he's like, whatever.
It's like pretty much when I'm listening to you in a meeting.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, whatever. No? Okay. Anyway.
I see Robert, I knew that.
Yeah.
Dan did not.
I did know that. Of course I did. I said I like the Roger Moore ones. Of course I know.
You brought up Sean Connery.
Well, I did bring it because I'm not a big Sean Connery James Bond guy. Probably because of the technology in those days, in the 60s. It's just not as believable.
So wait a second. You love the original series and you're on board with that, but you can't get past the technology in the Connery Bond movies?
Apples and oranges, Sheldon. Little Big Bang Theory quote there. Yeah, I know. I don't know if it's just because I never got into Bond played by Connery, which is heresy, because a lot of people say that he's the ultimate Bond. He just never clicked with me. So I think that's probably why I don't have the respect and admiration for those movies. But as you and I have done many times, like Move Along Home is a perfect example. I bet if I go back and watch them now, I will have a better appreciation for them.
You know, it's fascinating to me that the Moore ones are okay when they've got in one movie a sub that eats other subs. Literally, the submarine just swallows up other submarines. And that's really kind of okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Blake, really, buddy? I'm not digging a hole, man. I'm serious.
Oh, no, you are.
I'm not. Okay. Let me ask you this, though, with Roger Moore, since we're on the Bond thing right now. I think his first movie was his best one. I think they went, I will say, even though I'm a fan of his, they went downhill after that. Live and Let Die is phenomenal. I think it's a fantastic first movie for Roger Moore.
That's because it's the only one he didn't play tongue in cheek slightly. You know, Roger Moore broke the fourth wall all the time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes where it wasn't called for, because he's like, I'm Roger Moore, you know, and it's like, dude. And then he just, I hate saying this, he just stayed too long.
Yeah.
By the time he was 65 and still playing Bond, is like, dude, you are not believable.
Yeah. I totally 100% agree with you there. Yep. I'll give you that. Give you that.
So back to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. The other thing I love here is the fact that Worf plays the henchman perfectly. The one thing I wasn't prepared for, though, is seeing Worf puff on a cigar in this holodeck reality. Because, I mean, it's Star Trek. We're past that, but we're in a holodeck simulation. So that, to me, took me a second to wrap my head around. But, you know, Michael Dorn just plays the henchman who happens to be Klingon just fantastically. Duchamp or whatever.
I love how that was. I'll call him Duchamps, just because I can't pronounce names. But I do like how that was a direct correlation to a Bond movie. Was it Thunderball? When the villain takes a cigar or a cigarette and puffs it and knocks him out with the gas. And I do like how the cigar on this one had a red little like cigar ring, so that Worf would know Duchamps would know that it's the red, the one to knock him out with.
Duchamps.
Do
you know who sings the theme to Thunderball?
Off the top of my head, no.
Tom Jones.
Really?
Yep.
Who my wife and I watched 2 hours of him singing on The Voice as a judge, and just having I just absolutely love that 2 hours watching him do songs. That's cool. Very cool. I can't do it because it'll be on, record.
I've seen Tom Jones in concert twice.
Oh, nice.
The first time, it was both times in Vegas. The first time, he looked, his hair was still brown. I'm sure he was dyeing it. The second time, he looked like a pervy grandpa.
Okay.
Just
But he's still
throwing
got
that
the
out.
pipes, though. He's got those pipes.
He does.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
It's not unusual.
Yep. To be loved by anyone.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I would
Sorry.
love to just start belting it out, but we can't.
Here's the thing: is it's really easy for me to go down a Bond rat hole whenever I
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about this episode.
Which we've done.
many, many times. Let's talk about the B plot, which for me really is the A plot, and that's the
Mhm.
getting the crew out of there. It doesn't amount to much screen time in the episode, but I think for me, it's the most interesting part because the rest of it is just it's theater.
Yeah.
It's good theater. It's enjoyable theater. Like I don't watch this episode if I want to like really, just focus in on a moral or a theme of this episode. I watch it when I want a distraction. I watch it when I want something fun. We know they're going to get out of there. I mean,
Mhm.
that's sort of the predetermined thing in the episode. We know we're not going to lose anybody, but it's just it's creative and it's done in a way that I really like.
I really like it. Like we talked about before, Holodeck Gone Wrong episodes have been around since TNG. I love how they tie what's going on in the holodeck outside of the hollow suite, the hollow suite, with the plumbing and the spatula because it's got good conduit, and all of the stuff that Rom is doing, and it has to go over to the Defiant. And it's interesting to know that the neural patterns of these 5 crew members take up more memory than the station has available to it, which you got to think is that station's got a lot of memory available to it. And for that to be taking up everything, wow. My
It
neural
makes
pattern would only take up, a little bit.
less. It makes me wonder, if the memory is maxed out with the patterns of the crew, what's running life support?
Maybe that stayed on and they didn't say anything. The lights went out though, because that shit's going wrong when the lights go out, and the lights go out, and the displays are all blinkety typey.
It's amazing that we've been around for 10 years when you start using stuff like that. Yeah. Catherine brings up a great point. This is a great character growth episode for
is.
Rom. It absolutely is.
Yep.
But I'm going to also put out there, it's a great character growth episode for Bashir because you get to see him not be a sort of, dorky, slightly creepy version of himself. You get to see him as suave. You get to see him as, the secret agent who always, gets the girl, if you will. I hate using that phrase, but it's kind of common of the time. I like that both of these characters really kind of get a boost.
You see both sides of the spectrum with Bashir in this episode, or the before with the dorky, chasing after Dax, or before we knew that he was genetically enhanced and became a know-it-all.
Right.
So I kind of like that he's grappling with things, the arguments that he has with Garrick in the Holosuite about what it's like to be a real spy agent because of Garrick's history versus what he likes to do in the Holosuite is another very interesting dynamic to not only his character but the relationship between Garrick and Bashir. So much so that Bashir shoots Garrick in the neck.
As I've wanted to do to you just many times. Yeah, I like the fact that Garrick, who actually is a spy, is going to this going, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Is this what? He's got to wonder in some sense how they ever made it into space.
Well, you see it at the beginning, when he's, they're sitting there, I don't know if it's in Paris or London, and he's looking around and he goes, I picked the wrong intelligence agency.
Yeah.
But you got to think, was he serious? Or was he
I think he just meant that everything wasn't gray and metal and everybody looked like a reptile.
Spoonheads.
It's this great, mid-century modern, decor with, women showing up haphazardly on spinning beds
with knives in their backs. I mean,
yeah,
that was kind of brutal for 1995 too, for a TV show, I would think. She's just sitting there with the nice little pressed outfit for Bashir, the tuxedo, falls, knife right in her back. Ouch. And that was a nice suit that she had on as well, too. I was talking about the wardrobe earlier. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I assumed so much. Yeah, in 95, I got to think we've seen worse things on television, like say in 1988 with Commander Remick getting just, blown to bits, kind of with a phaser exploding all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we've seen worse. I think this fit the aesthetic of the 60s.
True.
And it's, as Jason brings up, this episode's kind of like right between sort of K-Less and Homefront. So it's a nice downshift in between those two before stuff gets serious again.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I really like.
Jason is on topic tonight.
Wow.
Damn.
Dude needs a podcast.
I know, right?
Maybe he could have your job.
Does anybody want it though?
I know.
Working with you.
Working with you.
Hey, you're throwing them at me. I got to throw them right back at you. But I could never do it to the level of perfection that you do it, my friend.
Oh no, they're forming.
Nice.
That is one of my favorite moments in TMP, Helen. It really is. Just that when Rand just gets super serious and turns around like, there's nothing you could have done, Rand. Yeah,
not your fault.
Robert wants to know where he sends his audition tape. You have to send it and $5 to Box 999, Hollywood, California. Right after you go shopping,
kind of like a 60s reference.
Yeah. I was thinking more like a Wheel of Fortune. After you go shopping at Van Cleef and Arpels, you can send in his demo tape to a Hollywood post office box.
Wow.
Out of all of the holodeck gone wrong episodes, and we're just going to say holodeck because I know it's a holosuite, but we're going to say it's shorthand for holographic room. Where does this fall for you? I know you're a big fan of A Fistful of Datas.
Yeah.
And others. Where's this one kind of fall in the holodeck pantheon of episodes?
Oh, that's a good question. It's right up there. I don't know what I would rate it. I'd have to go back and review all of the different holodeck episodes that there are. I'm pulling them up right now just to get a quick idea. I would say, oh gosh, I'm looking at one. His Way is one. Elementary Dear Data, Fistful of Datas. Take Me Out to the Holosuite. That's probably my favorite. I just absolutely love that one. I might put this one 2 or 3, maybe.
Okay.
Shipping a bottle. Oh no, well, you know what? Bride of Chaotica is in there too. Ooh, top 5. I'll go top 5 because there are some great holodeck episodes.
Top 5.
So
there's the potential there's a potential you could rate Bride of Chaotica higher than this.
No, I'd say that's in the top 5 too. I just don't know where I put it. Yeah, I love Bride of Chaotica. That's another one that does a fantastic job of acting like the genre that they are trying to portray very, very well with those ridiculous B science movies of the day. So yeah, I think that's a good one also. But yeah, Bada Bing, Bada Bang, and Fistful of Datas, this one, those are all fantastic ones. So I'd put them right up there. I'm not a Big Goodbye fan. I'm not. Oh, you know what? Would you? I don't think I would put. I'm trying to think of. No, I don't know if I'd want to put it. It's only Paper Moon in there.
Why not?
Top. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Killing Games, another good one. Oh my gosh, there's so many. And now that I'm thinking about it, there's just so many. Oh, goodness gracious.
Dear viewers, I have now done what is called sending Dan Davidson down the rabbit hole.
Dan
is going to be thinking about this for days using his limited brain power to compute where, and he's going to come back to this with me a whole bunch of times. Like I'm going to get, a Facebook message on my phone saying, oh my God, I forgot about blank episode.
Yes. It's only Paper Moon. I can see why people would say it, but to me, the intensity of that episode and the seriousness of what's going on with Nog, I look at holodeck adventures, whether they're holodeck gone wrong or not, as fun episodes. That's not a fun episode. That's a serious episode. So that's why I'm thinking I don't know if I'd put it in that list for me.
Oh,
Just saying. You wanted an explanation, mister?
Well, I didn't. Clearly, I didn't get a good one.
Almost lost my hat.
All right, so it was 70 degrees here in North Carolina today, which is we're going to wear our Christmas sweaters like we did
Yeah.
with the Sci-Fi Sisters a few weeks ago. It's warm up here. I was going to be sweating to death. I don't know what it was where you are, but wearing that hat I know is not cool.
I'm very comfortable. It was almost 60 here today. It was very warm for December 17th in New Hampshire. It's 40 out right now. It's very comfortable. We're in my office, and I shaved my head before coming upstairs, so I had a haircut. So I'm fine. I don't want to take it off because then the light's gonna, Abrams lens
Reflect?
flare. Yeah.
So as you watch, Our Man Bashir, does this make you want to rewatch any Bond films or spy things, or does it not evoke that in you?
No, it absolutely does evoke it, even though, like we talked about before, I may not be a huge fan of the Connery movies, but if anything, this will want me to go back and watch them because honestly, I haven't watched them in so long. So yeah, this does what a lot of good episodes of Star Trek do. It makes you go back to want to watch other things that are related to it. So I would say yes, it would. How about you?
It does. It also makes me want to watch things like The Man from U.N.C.L.E.,
Mhm.
the TV series with
Yep.
Robert Vaughn and David McCallum. It makes me want to watch Our Man Flint again. It makes me want to watch Matt Helm with Dean Martin. How can you go wrong with Dean Martin?
Yeah, that's true.
Already those movies are flawed because Dean Martin is trying to play a secret agent. You hear the martini shaker before you ever hear Matt Helm coming in a room. That's what I'm
Right.
going to say.
Yeah.
I love all of those. I love that genre of films.
Yeah.
I wish that there had kind of been one Our Man Bashir episode a season instead of, I know this is going to be unpopular with you, instead of like a mirror universe episode every
Oh
season.
no. Nope, totally cool with that, man.
Really?
I thought it'd be great. And he talked about at the end when they're walking off the holosuite, I think we can look forward to more adventures of Julian Bashir's secret agent. And I think we get one more, but it's not a full episode. It's just like I think it's a little passing that he's in the holosuite, if I remember correctly. But no, I think you're absolutely right. I think that would have been great. I mean, I won't say no to Mirror Universe during the Deep Space Nine and TNG times and the Legacy. I definitely would be very much up for if they had done more Secret Agent Bashir episodes.
You should say no to the last Mirror Universe episode in Deep Space Nine.
Oh yeah, that's
dreadful.
True. It is dreadful. And I will say this, and this is going to shock you, and it's probably going to shock a lot of people. My love for the Mirror Universe has waned. Because
Really?
I think that they have oversaturated it with some of the stuff that they've done. Some of the stuff that they've done I've loved. Some of the stuff that they've done I have not loved. But I think they went into the well a little bit too much, especially in the newer series. I like what they did in Lower Decks. I'm talking about Discovery. I'll say it out loud. I think that they oversaturated that. Yeah, the old style stuff. But yeah, you're right. That last Mirror Universe episode of DS9 was just freaking awful.
Was it The Emperor's New Cloak? Is that
yep.
That's the one, right? Yeah,
that's the one.
Oof.
Yep. Interesting fact, Mr. Jim McMahon. Dean Martin never drank. I think that's something that we have read several places, that he never really had alcohol. Like when he's doing all those comedy roasts and stuff like that, he never really had alcohol in his glass. It was all a shtick.
I'm sure he was shit faced before he went out there, though. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I'm just saying what was in the drink wasn't alcohol. I don't care what he did beforehand.
You mean on stage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'm going to agree with Tamia here. I like the Disco Mirror Universe stuff. I don't like most of the Deep Space Nine stuff, which I know is heresy to you on some level.
Not heresy, no.
I really appreciated the way it sort of, set the table for part of Discovery. Now, if you can imagine, Brian Fuller wanted 10 episodes of the 13 in the Mirror Universe originally. Yeah. That would have been a little over the top.
The beginning of the Mirror Universe on Discovery, I thought was just awesome because it was not expected, except when it all got leaked and then everybody expected it. But I think that after the initial few episodes of it when it started getting a little bit more. We talked about down the rabbit hole several times today. But yeah, Mirror Universe, go Mirror Universe.
Yeah, right.
How about Mirror Universe, Our Man Bashir? Oh my god!
What is
like a
wrong
Mirror
with you?
Universe,
Who hurt you?
a Mirror Universe Bashir secret agent episode.
Show me on the doll where Star Trek hurt you.
Oh, you're killing me. Anyway,
David, I'm assuming you mean the comic books, perhaps.
oh,
Just going to throw that out there because there are a great series of comic books with some of the art by J.K. Woodward.
Yeah.
Of New Hampshire these days.
Yep. And some great Mirror Universe novels as well, I will say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. My
Some of the ones.
favorite book of all time is a Mirror Universe book.
How the F did we get on the Mirror Universe?
I don't know. You asked me something about Mirror Universe and Agent Bashir. It was your fault, actually. You asked me if I would rather have seen more Agent Bashir or Mirror Universe.
No, I didn't. I said I would rather see more Agent Bashir.
I won't blame you.
Yeah, essentially, I think, yeah, Jim. Our man Bashir would essentially be Dr. Evil.
Right.
Dr. Evil.
Evil.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Your face is what's happening. If I look at season 4, this happens early in season 4, this episode. And
so
obviously it's the season where Worf comes on board. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Michael Dorn clearly has a lot of time in makeup as Worf, but he doesn't have a lot of time on Deep Space Nine to sort of jump into doing something different, which is one of the things that I like, that they take that chance.
Yeah.
But already the episodes before this, we talked about where it was sandwiched. But before this, we've already seen The Way of the Warrior, The Visitor, Hippocratic Oath, Indiscretion, Rejoin, Starship Down, Little Green Men, and Sword of Kahless.
Oof.
Season 4 of Deep Space Nine, Dan, starts off with a bang.
It's awesome. Season 4 is awesome. Everyone that you just listed off are all awesome episodes. I think they're all great. But
also in season 4, you get the worst episode of Deep Space Nine ever, in my opinion. The Muse.
The Muse. Yep. Yeah, you're not.
People can say Prophet and Lace all day long. I'm sorry. I think The Muse is worse.
Yep. Yeah, that first half of the season is pretty damn good. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Good writing, good acting. Yep.
I mean, you get into the Homefront Paradise Lost thing. You get to Bar Association, which is great. Rules of Engagement, which I really love.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Time. I mean, how can you not dig that?
Such a great episode.
Shattered Mirror.
Yeah. I feel bad for Andrew Robinson though in this episode because when we talked to him, he's talked about this in conventions and stuff. When we had him on the show 10 years ago, he talked about how claustrophobic he was in that makeup.
Yeah.
And that it was something that he was very uncomfortable with. And this episode, he was in that makeup more hours than any other episode that he did on Deep Space Nine. And it drove him crazy.
Longest shoot of Deep Space Nine.
Yeah. Yep. Interesting.
I think they averaged like 6 days on Deep Space Nine, I think, and this one was 8.
Yeah, and one of the things that it was also very expensive because in one scene when they're on Everest, that backdrop out the window, they did the whole filming for the whole day that they were doing on that set, and then they realized that none of the mountains had snow on them, so they had to go back and redo all of the backdrops. And the guy, well, I forget who said it, but it ended up being like a $25,000 mistake because of all the extra pay that they had to do for the actors and the people behind the camera and all that stuff. So yeah.
Ain't that the way?
Oops.
I would just like to point out that Ryan says Deep Space Nine worst is still better than TNG's worst. Yes, and that includes Star Trek Generations. Shots fired.
My goodness gracious.
Shots fired, Bobby.
Wow. Fired, Bobby.
I know. You can tell it's been a while since we've done this because we've been all over the map tonight instead of our normal sort of,
but it's been fun.
Surgical examination of an episode.
Yeah,
I say that completely tongue in cheek.
Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. But it's been fun, right?
I've had a good time. I hope everybody else has had a good time.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Anyways.
So, see, we're getting Muse comments now, and you know what's amazing is Meg Foster. Yeah, the Muse wasn't great. Meg Foster then, and I was watching the movie. Oh my God, I'm having a mind blank. They Live, and I realized that it was the same actress that was in that Deep Space Nine because of those eyes of hers. It's like, that's Meg Foster. She was in that episode that Bill hates.
That storyline is terrible. It's interesting that season 4 has, in my opinion, both Star Trek's best and worst episodes. I mean, Deep Space Nine's best and worst episodes.
Visitor, yep.
The Visitor and the Muse.
And the Muse,
both of which directed by David Livingston, interestingly enough.
Yeah. Well, he directed like a zillion episodes, so.
The Muse, also the last time we see Loaxana Troy in Star Trek.
Correct. Yep.
Which is unfortunate.
It is. Yep.
So, Dan, final thoughts on the Muse.
The Muse sucks.
Sorry,
we're talking.
Let me back up. We're talking the Muse. You can.
Yes.
God, what is my?
See,
working
happens
with you
to the best of us,
and then it happens to you. Working with you has just made me dumber. I think that's what it is.
Yep.
Fun fact: Meg Foster, also the original co-star of Cagney and Lacey, the original TV movie, before she was replaced by Sharon Glass. Final thoughts on Our Man Bashir.
Our Man Bashir is a fantastic episode of Deep Space Nine. It's a great adventure. It's a fun holodeck episode. The acting is great. The overacting is great. I'm talking to you, Avery Brooks, because it's so perfect. It's a lot of fun. It's that callback to the old spy movies that we love to talk about because we're such big Bond fans. Big thumbs up. Big, fun, happy adventure. I love it.
If you've got 44 minutes and you need a distraction and you don't want to mire yourself in the Dominion War and you don't want a really serious, examination of problems going on Earth today, which Star Trek is always want to do, this is a great way to distract yourself and have a little fun in the process.
And you get to see the spy get saved just by talking some lovey-doveyness to the heroine, and then she takes her glasses off, lets her hair down, kisses him, and sets him free. What more could you ask for in a television episode? Honey Bear.
Yeah.
Honey Bear.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for that succinct commentary, Dan. Again, I point out that Robert says that's why Bill and Dan are professionals. Please don't try this at home. We're not insured for that. Or Dan may be, I don't know, because he makes the big bucks. Right, Sugar Bear?
Sugar Bear. Wow, there you go. I like that.
They don't call him that anymore.
No, they don't. Not at all. Sugar Daddy.
No. And yeah, Julian does finally get to kiss Jadzia.
That's true. Yep.
Again, though, doesn't he do it in If Wishes Were Horses?
I don't remember. Wow. Ryan is a funny guy. Hey, at least he remembered, right? That's great. Thanks, pal.
I didn't go to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, and it's
no, you did not.
It's a good thing. Dan, that's going to do it for Our Man Bashir. Get out there and watch some James Bond, y'all. I would start with Casino Royale, quite frankly.
Which one?
The first Daniel Craig movie. The first one with David Niven really isn't an official Bond movie.
Right.
It's not really a parody, but it also wasn't one of the Broccoli movies. So that Cubby Broccoli produced. So
right.
Or ask John Champion his favorite. I'm sure you will get an earful.
He dresses like Bond still.
Well, I mean, he is suave.
He is. I was gonna say you can't not dress like that when you're that debonair. So
I know.
Anyway,
Dan.
Yeah.
You know who else is debonair?
Oh, I think I know.
I think you know where this is going.
I do.
Our friends, the band 5-Year Mission.
5-Year Mission.
We are so grateful for all the music they let us use on the audio version of the show. We couldn't have done it without them for 10 straight years, and we're grateful to every note they have ever produced. So go on out to 5yearmission.net. Get those CDs in your grubby little fingers so you can pop them in your CD player or rip them to your computer or your your Diamond MP3 player or whatever the heck it is, and get those songs in your ear holes, because I guarantee you're going to become huge fans of the band. Songs that are not parody.
Nope.
They are new ways to look at these original series episodes that we've loved for so long. So 5yearmission.net, go get those discs, yo.
And they're working on a new album right now.
They
Rittenhouse actually posted on social media on Facebook the other day that they might have an upcoming podcast over on 5 Year Mission. So that's kind of cool. But
yeah,
we'll find out. But we talked about it today, dude. I mean, it's just such a great episode. Julian Bashir, secret agent, just absolutely one of the best. He faces danger at every turn. He woos the most beautiful woman on the planet. He's suave. He's debonair, even when things look their bleakest. He fights evil because he knows it's the right thing to do. But I got to tell you, buddy, no one is more evil than the man who had this very interesting philosophy. That there comes a time when a house has become so damaged by termites that you must not only kill the termites, but demolish the house. His name, you know it. It's coming. You know it's coming. It's been a while. Hippocrates Noah.
I would like to commend you for putting more effort into that Farkism, really, than you have all year. I love how everybody was like, oh no, here it comes. Boo. Farkism rating -5.
Wow. Okay.
And that's on a 10 scale. Face palm, Dan.
You know what? They're still talking about it, though. So that's Dan wins. They're talking about it. That doesn't matter what they're saying. They're talking about it.
You may have won, but humanity has lost something as a whole. I just want to point this out. I don't know what to do with you. I really don't. Of course, Dan, don't forget too that you too, maybe even you, Dan, if you gave a damn about this show, can become a subscriber on Patreon to help support Trek Geeks. And I got to say, Dan, before we sort of get into thanking all of our producers and associate producers, look at that year 5 pin.
My God.
For the Patreon. This pin was your idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just excited because you have bloody nips on this. Can I just say that out loud?
Yeah. That's
still
I love
PG.
This.
Yeah.
I love this. Fansets did such an amazing job for this year 5 pin. You got your pointed ears. I got the red bloodline across my chest. We got the broken gong. Just absolutely amazing. And before we get into the producers, anybody who is on our Patreon who is of that level that they can get a pin, you should have received your pin by now. So if you haven't, please let me know so I can make sure that I get it out to you. I'll go through and do all our checks and rechecks, and I'll have Bill check my checks, and we'll get one sent out to you if you did not get one yet. But that's a beautiful one. But I will say this too, Bill. We got some good ones planned for coming up, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I just want to point out where Blake is in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
It's early in the day. Can you imagine him having to go through the torture of seeing you first thing in the morning?
I got a lot
it's not pretty.
I don't think it is. I got a lot of coworkers now in Australia, and I've had to have meetings with them, and it's 8 a.m. their time, and I'm sure that I am not what they want to wake up to. Just saying.
Fun fact: did you know how to say the phrase "razor blades" and make it sound like you're from Australia?
Oh boy, here we go.
Say the phrase "rise up lights" very fast all together.
Rise up lights.
See, it sounds like razor blades.
That's awesome. Wait a minute. Is Blake Strike saying that he did not get your pin? Did you not get your pin yet, Blake? I know
He's
I sent
in Australia,
it. So it's Australia. It takes like 6 weeks to get there. So I'll check the tracking for you, pal.
The place used to be a prison colony. Is it any wonder? Did I say that aloud? I'm sorry, Blake.
Anyway,
throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Crikey. The pin is great. It's just a way for us to thank our Patreons for all the love that they send us. Right now, we want to give a very special thank you to our associate producers for Trek Geeks, and they are Vikram Bhatt, Chad Clark, Corey Clay, Brad DeMag, William Edward M. Jr., Andy Fark, Kimberly Francis, Jonathan Hamilton, Ryan Jeffs, Sean Lynn, Rick Mason, Jamie McGregor, Ross McKinney, Aaron Mollenkoff, Sarah Ledoux, Helen Reed, Sarah Rutlinger, Tim Robertson, Desi Rogers, Greg Rozier, Eric Sakian, Adam Sanders, Tim Serdar, Heather Sohn, Blake Strike, Lisa Tomlinson, Ron Roble, Kalia Zawacki, and the gracious and beautiful Connie Hutchins.
Could you do the Australia thing again?
Blake Strike.
I'm sorry, Blake.
Strikey.
Blake, I'm really sorry. He didn't mean to do that to you. You've been a great friend for years. Of course, we want to thank our Trek Geeks producers as well. They are Mike Bovia, Steve Bovia, Jeff Caliendo, Kyle Castillo, Peter Craig, Andy Davenport, Craig Ewing, Jackie Hackney, Chris Hackney, Brian Hackwith. We got all the hacks in there. Kimberly Hartman, David Hood, Lionel Marchon, Matt McGonigal, Jim McMahon, Darren Metcalf, Charlie Mulvey, Sean O'Halloran, Casey Pettit, Jamie Rogers, Casey Shafsky, Terry Shaw, Jim Stoffel, Chris Trabuzio, Christina Werther, and the lovely and talented Jess Vashon. Dan, for now and all time, the senior producer of Trek Geeks is the one, the only, the college man, Jude Tapman.
College man Jude Tapman. So if I'm correct in this, he's watching right now and it is way past his bedtime because he probably has like finals or some shit going on over in Great Britain right now. So get to bed, mister. I will be looking for your report card. You too can become a producer of the Trek Geeks podcast, and it's so easy to do. Just head on over to patreon.com/Trek Geeks for all the details.
Wow. You're all over the place tonight.
I'm going to get a text from him in like 2 minutes.
No, probably from his mom.
Yes.
And I won't get it, which is fine.
That's right.
That's all right. I know you're everybody's favorite, and that's cool.
I know it's hard.
Dan, instead of talking about what we're going to do next week, because we have no freaking idea,
No clue.
I want to talk about what are you excited for the holidays this year? We both got our trees up.
Yeah.
We both got some Christmas spirit, going on. What are you looking forward to this December?
I'm looking forward to being with the ones I love, to be honest with you. I think that over the course of the last couple of years, there's been some really difficult shit that's gone on between with you and your life and with me and my life. We've lost people. I lost both my parents and it's great to have that Christmas spirit again. And I'm glad you brought it up. Whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or anything, be with the people you love each other, and enjoy the time because you never know when it might not be there. I hope everybody has a fantastic holiday. I am looking forward to spending time with Sue and the kids. They're going to come down from Maine and spend some time. And of course, we'll be spending time with my sister, brother and sister-in-law. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be weird this year. Aria's not here. We just lost her a few weeks back. But we got each other, and that's important. And it's going to be weird. You're not nearby, man. We usually get together and do something near the holiday. But I hope you and your wife and lovely pup have a fantastic holiday also.
Thank you. We're looking forward to our first Christmas in our new home here in North Carolina. We love it here. We made the right move for us at the right time.
Good.
We haven't looked back once. I never thought that I'd be at a point in my life where I'm ready to move to the country.
Mm-hmm.
But we have, and it's been everything that I didn't know it could be.
Awesome.
I love it. It's quiet. I don't have to worry about traffic or, reservations or you name it. It's a much simpler way of life, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't work as hard as any of the farmers out here. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
Actually, Ross, that's not true. The last few in New Hampshire were pretty much non-snowy.
Yep.
But I do echo Robert's comment. Happy holidays, quite honestly.
I will say also one other thing, Bill. We talked about this year, we've been through stuff. It's so great. I think both you and I now are finally at a point where we don't have like ridiculous chaos going on. For Christmas. I am so happy with my new job that I started 6 weeks ago this week. The team that I have is absolutely fantastic. I know I am going to love it there. And it's so good to have a career path where you are looking forward to things. And that's where I finally am. The 3 months that I had after I got laid off was tough, but it was tough beforehand with stuff that was going on, which well, because you were there also. So I feel blessed this year. And I'm looking towards a wonderful celebration next week with the people that I love.
And of course, we hope everybody watching and listening to this, we hope that your holidays are spent with the people you love, the people who bring you joy. We hope you make great new memories, regardless of what holiday you celebrate, or even if it's just a day in your life. I hope it's a great time for you, safe and happy and all of those things. We're grateful to all of you who continue to turn out and support Trek Geeks after all this time. And we're looking forward to doing some new and amazing stuff in 2025 and beyond. Fair statement?
Indeed. That's a very fair statement. I couldn't have said it any better myself, and I'm not going to even try.
Well, that's good. Well, with that, Dan, let's move on to things. We do hope you all live long and prosper. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And I got to tell you, man, it was great. The Julian Bashir gagged out there. They're doing their thing. They're getting tortured, or they're going to get shot to death or something like that. And they're throwing coconuts at everyone to knock them out and save the girl. It was great. Absolutely fine. So get out of there. It's cardio day. Let's go.
Wow, the timing on that perfect once again, Dan.
Amazing.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
I do nothing. It's all you. You're a genius, my friend.
Dan, may I say,
Yeah.
in the words of Robert Reyes,
Mm.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. We haven't done it in a long time. Yeah, it's still weird. I gotta say, it's still weird doing the outtake literally at the end of the show now.
It really is.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get not here, but I go to Ross McKinney.
Ross lives down here in North Carolina too. He's not all that far from me compared to where you are, Dan, in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
But yeah. There have been like 3 good Farkisms throughout the history of Trek Geeks, Ross. Tonight was not one of them.
It wasn't bad.
It also wasn't great.
The delivery maybe could have been worked on, but the actual Farkism itself, it
Dreadful.
It just rolled off my tongue. Hepharcratus, Noah.
Hepharcrates,
whatever.
Do you know who Hippocrates is?
Yes, he was a philosopher.
Okay.
Hippocrates Smith. He lived over on Cobalt Ave, down the street.
Cobalt. He's very blue over there. Wow.
He's blue. Got to lead on down. Anyway.
Wow.
It's good to see you, pal.
It's good to see you too, buddy. It's been a while.
It has been a
while.
while.
The new job is going well.
Oh my God, dude. I am not just blowing smoke. I don't know if any of the people from work were listening, because I did let them know that we're going to be recording live. We didn't even talk about it. This was live to the entire world tonight, which we decided we wanted to try. So I told my team that we're going to be doing it. So some of them may have been on. I don't know if they were listening or not. Sorry if you were. But it's great. I am so happy that I am where I am. It's great to wake up in the morning and look forward to going to work, even though I just have to go up the stairs into my office.
What a line of bullshit. You were saying for an hour before we started how much you hate that fucking place.
Yeah, you're such a jerk.
I'm kidding.
It's great. All the people are fantastic. I don't think I've ever had a team that everyone is so welcoming and offering the help and everything like that. So I'm very happy. I know I'm going to be happy there. And I'm looking forward to it. It's only been 6 weeks. I actually had my first official support ticket with a live customer this week, and it felt great to get back at it. So yeah. Oh.
Dan, you're a Farkosopher.
I like that. See, this is why I do the Farkisms.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. So how many Farkisms has there been? Because we've done 319 episodes, but we didn't do all. There's been I'd say, what, 300?
Probably a little over 300.
And you said I've got
in the
3 good ones. 3 out of 300. Huh.
Yeah, you're at 1% or less, possibly.
I'll take it. So you're saying there's a chance. So yeah, things are good, man. I'm in a good place. I'm very happy. Of course, things are great with the wife and Miley has kind of transitioned to not having Ari around. That was very difficult. That was unexpected and something that we weren't prepared for at all. But we're doing good. Went out and got a new tattoo last week. I got a Haunted Mansion tattoo that I've wanted for a long time, and it came out fantastic. And I'm going to plug anybody in Southern New Hampshire who wants a tattoo. Go to the Ink Club Tattoo Studio on Hudson and talk to Amber, because she is just phenomenal with her watercolors. So yeah, things are good, buddy. How about you?
I remember a time when you couldn't envision yourself getting one tattoo.
Never.
And now I think you've almost caught up to me.
I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 now.
You've tied me. I
Yep.
have 6.
Yep. So, and I got a couple ideas for a couple other ones. But yeah, I 10 years ago, I would have said, I'll never get a tattoo. There's no way I will ever get a tattoo. And now look. Yep. And only 2 Star Trek ones out of the 6.
We're going to run a contest through Trek Geeks to design Dan's tramp stamp tattoo.
Well, I'm going to have to get rid of the one that's already there.
You don't have one there.
I just dropped something. Hold on.
We love you too, Tamia. Have a great time. Say hi to all the sisters for us.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Yeah, no, we really should have a contest where somebody designs or has an idea that we have to get tattooed on us, but it's got to be for charity.
True, because that's what we like to do. We like to do stuff for charity. Yeah, I could get my face on you, dude. You don't think you could raise enough money to charity to do that?
No.
Face, no way.
No. I've contemplated getting Danny DeVito's face tattooed on me.
What's that from?
Danny, you don't watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
It's Danny DeVito is, by all accounts, one of the kindest people in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
And he's had a career where he has just been nothing but funny. Plus, he's also directed some great films like Hoffa, you know, the one Nicholson's in. Danny DeVito directed that. He directed Throw Mama from the Train.
Did not know
He's
that.
directed several others.
Throw Mama from the Train. Oh, God, you lied to me.
Right? So Danny DeVito is the man. Plus, he's only like 4'11". Got lots of short guys everywhere.
Yep. There you go. Yep. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Oh, look at this, Robert. Pull that one up. Robert's gotta get the ball rolling.
We don't deal with euros, Robert.
Yeah, where'd that come from? Aren't you in where is he? Vegas, California?
California.
California. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Shouldn't he be getting ready for work, Robert?
I think he said that a little while ago. Yeah. I don't know. He said he wasn't wearing a sweater, which I don't believe that for a second.
I don't believe that for a minute. That's a goddamn lie. So you see on your Trek tree, I see you've got your Enterprise tree topper.
Yes.
For the first time since I bought them, I actually set up my Star Trek Storytellers ornaments.
Awesome.
I haven't found my Scotty and my Bones yet.
Oh, okay.
They're in a different box.
Okay.
But I have all the other ones set up, and I turned it on for the first time today.
Isn't it amazing?
Oh my God.
It is. Okay. For anybody who does not have this or has not seen it, we're not joking when we say this is like the best thing for Star Trek fans to have. That tree topper, the way when I turn it on, I'll shut the light, I turn the lights off, because just the way that the lighting is on the thing, the shadows that it casts on the ceiling, the music, the sounds, it's incredible. And I got to give kudos to Hallmark. Of course, Star Trek is #1, but they also have a Haunted Mansion version of this, Storytellers. They've got a Harry Potter one. They got Star Wars, of course. So there's a lot of genres out there for fans of stuff to have incredible trees with great storytelling components to it.
It's fantastic. I mean, as you recall, back in the day, I lost a whole bunch of ornaments in a flood of my storage unit. I have gotten a good number of them back, not all of them, obviously, but I was putting them on the tree today for the first time because, I really haven't put up a tree the last few years.
Several years, yeah.
Yeah, and I was putting them on, putting the tree up, the other weekend. I'm like, damn, this feels good. I feel like I've got some Christmas back, It feels kind of weird. I'm not going to lie.
I think we needed it this year. Even though we're both in a good place, we needed something to celebrate because it's been a tough year for some people this year in the United States with things going on, and I think a lot of people. I saw a lot of people decorating stuff way early this year, and we decided to do the same thing, and I'm glad we did because it's been great. It's been helpful.
Some might say we need a little Christmas right this very minute.
Some may say that.
I would say that.
Candles in the window.
Carols at the Spinet.
There you
Nobody
go.
has Spinets anymore. What the hell is up with that?
I had one. It doesn't fit me anymore. So
Hallmark does have a massive ornament business for the geek community, and of course, Jim, if you know author Kevin Dillmore, also works with
Yes.
them a lot, and
Yep.
actually was on the team, I believe, responsible for the Storytellers ornaments,
Mhm.
among others. So,
and it's great when for those of you who don't have it, when you get all of the ornaments of the crew, when you connect them all, you basically get the entire Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Like almost the entire episode plays. It's phenomenal. It's really great. It's at least 20 minutes long.
I'm sure Mary Wiseman did know, or Mary Chiefo did know that we need a little Christmas. I'm just throwing that out there. That's
Yeah.
just me. But yeah, it's honestly, my Christmas spirit was to make Christmas great for my mom back in the day because
Yeah.
she made Christmas great for us for so many years.
Yep.
So when I became an adult, I made it my mission to give her a great Christmas every year, and I did my best. Are you picking your teeth with a bat lift while I'm telling an important story?
I'm listening.
Are you?
I am. Mom, Christmas. I'm right there with you.
All right, pick your teeth on on somebody else's time.
I had an itch.
On your tooth? What is wrong with you?
Oh my God, it's fun.
So when my mom passed away, it's hard to believe 7.5 years ago.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
I kind of just really didn't care about Christmas.
Mhm.
I didn't put the tree up. I didn't go through a lot of my Christmas traditions because I had many.
Yeah.
Many.
Yep.
And I'm finally feeling kind of getting back into the swing of things.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, family was my mom's existence. And it is very strange to not be doing holidays with her or dad, both being gone. But we're going to enjoy what we got, and we're going to have a good time. And I got to tell you, man, this has been a fantastic evening. It's been a while since we've sat and done this. It's been a lot of fun. I'm glad that we did it. It's awesome. Fun stuff.
Me too. I don't think we'll get another one in before Christmas.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so either. Yep.
But we might be able to sneak one in before the end of the year. You never know.
That would be good. We don't know what the topic's going to be.
Who says there has to be a topic?
That's right. Absolutely. Oh, you know what we didn't do tonight? We didn't talk about Thursday Night Geeks.
Well, we give it time.
Listeners, people listening. Thursday Night
There's
Geeks.
people watching too, right?
And watching, yes. Thank you very much. I said it the other day. Somebody said to me at work, I said that we're going to be doing this. We're going to do a live stream, and I don't know when it became such a thing for people to watch people talking into microphones, but it's a thing. So here we are.
Ever since MSNBC came on board in like 1996.
Okay. All right. You get these.
Honestly.
You got these beautiful faces here, or beautiful face in you in front of your camera here talking to all of our listeners and friends. It's pretty awesome.
I will have you know, I'm gorgeous.
You are gorgeous. You're effing gorgeous.
Ryan, you're not wrong. There were like 20 topics tonight.
There were. We had a lot to talk about.
I felt like I had adult onset ADHD, quite frankly.
First time listeners in the non-Patreon universe are like, what the is going on?
It's been a long road.
Oh, there it goes. Yeah.
I hate that song.
Yes. There you
My
go.
face is gorgeous. Thank you, Blake.
Are you serious? She was freaking late. Are you serious, girl? It's never going to end, is it?
Christina, I can only hope that your New Year's resolution is to not work as much.
Yes, that's right. Well, it is.
Live and video casts have been around for a bit, Dan.
I understand that, but I've never understood. I've never understood the wanton desire to watch people just sit there and talk, and I didn't understand it until I saw my youngest doing it constantly, watching her video game people sit there and play video games that she's not even playing, but sitting there watching for hours. I'm like, I can't wrap my head around it, but here we are.
I'm going to take this as a compliment.
Yes.
I don't know if Jim means it to be one or not, but that's how I'm taking it.
I'm taking it as one as well.
Yeah, we know, Dan. We picked you out of the crowd. The words that launched this show. What's a podcast?
What's a podcast? No. What's a podcast? And then
Thursday-
you had to bitch at me for like a year before I said yes.
Thursday Night Geeks is definitely going to be different. I mean, where this is really kind of like two guys who can barely keep a thought together between them. The other Dan is going to keep us on track a little more with Thursday Night Geeks.
Yes.
Our good friend Dan Garcia is going to come in and actually run the board in the show, if you will,
Awesome.
and make sure that I am not overtaxed.
I miss Dan.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Although he didn't say that about you. I think he hates you.
That's right. A lot of people do. It's all right. It just bounces off me like rubber and glue. Whatever you say bounces off me in 60.
No, you're the favorite of a lot of people, but I mean, I think that I'm Dan's favorite, quite frankly.
And that's fine. You deserve at least one.
I do. Robert, where have you been? No, it's Trek Geeks Thursday Night Geeks.
Thursday night edition. What is happening?
Wait, what do you think we are? Trek NPR over here?
Oh God. Here we go. Go ahead.
What do you mean?
Do your NPR.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Hello, Dan.
There it is. Trek Geeks After. See, we have talked about doing something like that for many a yearn.
Many a what?
Year.
Were you trying to go yarn like Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what a urn is.
I know what urine is. I don't know what to talk about it.
Urine is what you smell like.
Trek Geeks After Dark. Here we go.
Yeah. Ask and you shall receive.
There you go. Yep. Yes, we have talked about that. Mm-hmm.
Actually, Robert, you're not wrong.
True.
Think of everything I've told you about Thursday Night Geeks, and even look at the graphics package. And it screams Monday Night Football of the 1990s on purpose.
It does.
Ross, we get sweaty going up and down the stairs. So that's really not fair.
I'm sitting here not doing anything, and I'm
actually because we're old and fat, quite frankly.
I took my hat off.
I didn't even notice.
I put my pants on.
Now, Thursday Night Geeks is going to be a little different. It'll probably be a little more segmented. There will be weeks where we probably don't even talk about Star Trek, which is fine.
Yes.
Maybe you want to talk about a different show you're watching, or you want to expose people to a show you think is great. Maybe we want to talk about food. Maybe there's something that is going on in fandom that we want to talk about. So it's going to be Trek Geeks, but slightly tweaked, which I think will be really fun for both of us and hopefully for our audience too. So week 1 for Thursday Night Geeks is going to be our 10th anniversary special.
Yep.
We are bringing some special guests to the table, including the amazing and talented John Billingsley from Star Trek Enterprise and a couple others that we have yet to spring on people. So it's going to be a 90-minute fun fest. I'm looking forward to it.
And I like the tweaks. So it's going to be Trek tweaks, kind of. No?
I'm turning off your microphone. See, I actually can. I did turn off his microphone. You don't have to pretend, Dan. You really are muted. Yeah, we know you're faking it. Because you're speaking way faster than you could normally. Yeah. And
then it said, that's the last I'm going to say about it.
Will the hostages be released after 10 years? No.
No, not at all. Nope.
We are hostages for the foreseeable future. But for now, we probably should call it a show. We've rambled on long enough about almost nothing.
Fantastic time, though. Talking about nothing, it's like a big Seinfeld episode, all wrapped into 1 hour and 39 minutes.
This is a great question because I've gotten this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's replacing it. A good chunk of the audio will wind up being re-released in the audio format. So it will, be released as Trek Geeks episodes. But I look at them both as kind of extensions of each other.
Yeah.
There's no
And we
real
will still be doing this, not TNG nights as well. Stuff like this.
yeah.
I
So
would hope.
we'll probably mix in content from the live show on occasion.
Yeah.
So it's I the way I see it is there's plenty to talk about and plenty we can use in both formats that I think it'll be great for everybody. So
Yeah. Yep.
cool.
There we go.
Well, Dan, Merry Christmas to you and Sue.
And to you and the missus as well.
Thank you. And we'll do this again, hopefully sooner rather than later. Certainly before Thursday Night Geeks,
I would
January
think so.
30th.
Absolutely.
And don't forget Trek Talks 2, Trek Talks 4. That's because 2 + 2 is 4.
Exactly.
Saturday, January 18th, 12:45 p.m. Pacific start time. 8 hours of great Star Trek content. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Lots of big names. Going to be lots of great conversation and lots of money raising for Hollywood Food Coalition.
Until then, everyone, peace out, live long, and prosper. Happy holidays.
See you, everybody.